Welcome back, and we are going to work in advanced 3D construction tools. And it looks like we're building a hair dryer on this one. So this looks like it's all in standard inches. Go to New and go to Standard IPT inches. And we're going to use some advanced 3D construction tools. We're going to use a loft. We're going to use a sweep in this, and there's some really cool tools to use. You'll also use a rectangular array, and we'll do that in just a minute. But we're going to start out, and we're going to use the Revolve command and start new 2D sketch. I'll click here, and I am going to start here and bring this thing up 1.5. If you have your book in front of you, you can kind of follow along with me. And we are going to come over. Let me get my book out here. Take a look at the dimensions on this. I don't know where that one's at, so I'll just leave it like that. Come down here to the bottom, and I know this one's running over. Oh, we got a radius of 2. So I come over here, click my circle, bring this one up. It's going to put it in diameter, so I'll do a 4. And we're just bringing the lines over to it, just like that. We're going to trim that little guy out there. All this other stuff looks really good. Then I'm going to do a fillet, 0.25, and catch this point to this point. And now I'm finished with my 2D sketch. So I'll finish my sketch, and I'll do a revolve. And of course, my profile is that. My axis would be this. It's not catching my profile, so there's some point on here that it's let me go back and edit my sketch. It's not enclosed, so let's check it out and see what's going on with this. Looks like all that is connected. Looks like that's connected. Looks like all that is connected. It looks like that's connected. So when you get in this situation, if you can't find what's wrong, come over here and right click and go to Sketch Doctor. Diagnose the sketch, and it's going to look for, it's got an open loop. Next. Close the loop, finish, and this will automatically close it. And it successfully closed it. So there was an open loop in there. It fixed it automatically. Now I can revolve it, and now it's picked it up. My axis line would be this one, and we're going to rotate that around the full 360 degrees, and you've got that portion of it done. Okay. Now the next step of this thing is to go, we're going to put and make the handle, get the handle put on it. And I come over here to origin, and that should be right in the center of it, which it is. And I'll right click that origin, and I'll turn the visibility on it. And then I want to offset this plane several different times. We're going to offset it 3 times. And the first offset that we have, we go up here to plane, offset from plane. So click this one, and we are going to offset that first one 2.5. Check mark. Then we're going to offset 3.5 this time, offset from plane. We're going to do this one 3.5. Then we'll do this another offset from plane, this one, and we're going to offset it 4.25. So you've got all those planes in there now, and we're ready to start drawing on those. So the first one, we're going to do a sketch, 2D sketch on this face right there. Turn that around. And if you hit F7, it will actually slice that through so you can see that. If you hit it again, it brings it back. F7 will slice it so you can actually see what you're doing. Inside here, we are going to put this, we're going to start with a handle, and it's just a rectangle. Looks like 1.5 in X and 0.5 in Y. So I just come in here and we'll get started. So I'm going to choose my rectangle, and we're going to get in here and we're going to get started. So I'm just roughly going to put this in here, and I don't know, I'm trying to look and find some dimensions to where this thing goes to. Oh, it's coming right off the center. Okay, so hit your rectangles, coming right off the center here. It's coming over 1.5, tab, and then up it is going 0.5. Oh, my bad, I put them backwards. This is 1.5, and tab over, this is 0.5, and this should be 0.5. That looks a little bit better, and it's got some fillets on it. It's like a 1/4 inch fillet, so I've already got that on there. Click there and there, there and there, and finish the sketch. So that's in there. So now I want to go and do me a new sketch on the next plane. I do an F7 to slice it so I can see what's going on, and we probably wouldn't hurt because we need to stay in line with this one up here, and we could project that one over to this if we wanted to. Or we don't have to. We probably need to. So I'm going to go to project geometry, and see, I can't see that in here. I cannot see that for that bowl that's up here that we've made. So let me show you a trick. This part that we made up here, if you go up this revolution, I can right click and I can go to suppress, or visibility, I'm sorry. And it won't let us do it while we're inside of sketch mode. So I'll finish the sketch out. Now I'll come in here and actually it is suppress feature, and it hides that feature, but it lets me see this sketch that I made earlier in there. So I come in here to that sketch, which is sketch 3, right click and edit the sketch, and F7 again, so I cut all that other stuff out, and I want to project geometry. Catch this, catch this, catch this, catch this, catch that. And if you notice, see how it projects it to this plane? Well, this one is 1.4, and so it's going to be a little shorter on this dimension. So I come over here and grab that, and you can't, it's projected, so I can't do that. So I have to delete that off, delete that off, delete that off, delete that. But I've got back here, this is my base where I'm starting from, and I'll catch that point. I'll get it lined up and go 1.4, come straight up, get it lined up going up perpendicular, come back, catch that point, fill it, 0.25, and finish that sketch out. And it's got that one. And now, and actually, yeah, that's it. Now I want to catch this other one and start a new sketch on it. F7, so I kind of see what's going on. I like to turn it just a little bit, and I'm going to take and go ahead and project my geometry. I want the same back side, and that's all I need, and you all can see how I started that. And I'm going to grab this one, delete it out, and hit line, catch that point, and come in here, and this one comes over 1.2, and it comes up again. Make sure you get this straight. Right there it is, straightened up. It goes 0.5 as well. Back over, click, fill it. Alright, we're getting closer, guys. Finish the sketch. It brings up where I can see my next sketch, and I'll go ahead and make it, and boom. And now I can project my geometry, and I kind of turn so I can see what I'm doing. I want to project this and this, and that's all really I need, because I can come down here and hit line, get that lined up, 1.35 up vertically, 0.5 back over and touch that point, fill it. And you can kind of see now, I'll finish that sketch out, and you can see now, you can see the hairdryer handle starting to come out. What you're going to do is you're going to loft. It's going to catch this profile, and it's going to loft to 3D solid. So what you do is you come up here to your loft in your 3D feature mode, and you got a loft. You click on that one first, and you come down here and click on this one. See how it's a lofting, and then you keep clicking, and you come down here and catch this one. Well, it's not wanting to catch that one, so something's wrong with my sketch. So I cancel out of that, and I got to go back to this sketch. So we'll go back to this, edit that sketch, and let's take a look and see, is there something not right about the sketch. Right click, I don't see anything. Sketch Doctor, diagnose my sketch. There's an open loop, and let's fix it. Alright, so it's saying there was an open loop, but it didn't fix it. And I'm trying to think where that open loop might be. I don't see any open loops there. So, delete. This looks good. Up there, line. Catch that point, bring it back and touch that point. Okay. That should work just fine. So let's see if it'll work this time. We hit loft, come up here, grab that, and it is not wanting to grab sketch 5. So there's something going on with sketch 5. So let's go back in here again, and we will use our sketch doctor, something real simple. And let's see, this time, I didn't look last time. It does say there's an open loop. It looks like right here is the open loop. Where the highlight curves connect. Would you like? Alright, this time it successfully closed the loop for me. Sometimes if it doesn't work, you'll have to go back through and just redo it. If I loft again this time, the sketch doctor is really nice. And you see this time it's catching every bit of it. So right there's the hairdryer handle. Okay, and now if you come up here into your revolution that we made, let's unsuppress it and bring it back to life. It's starting to come about, isn't it? Okay, now let's see what else we need to do. So we need to go ahead and put the nozzle on it. So we need to bring in another plane, and we go back here into our origin. If it's open it up, it's collapsed, and it would be that one right there. Bring your visibility into it. We turn it, F7 cuts it so that you can see it. And at this point, in your book, it has all the information that you need. Looks like it's coming off of the center point, or it's coming up off the center point, 1.25. So I'll put me a center point in here, and I'll click, and we'll move it to where we need to go with it. And I'll just do that for the time being. Dimension from there to the center point. It's not letting me catch that center point. Yeah, I did right there. It actually done the center plane, 1.125. And then I'll dimension it. And the dimension on this is 0.75 radius. It's doing it in diameter, so I've got to times it by 2. So finish my sketch out. Just use your extrude. Right there is what we're extruding. And this thing is going to be 5.5. And then OK on that. Well, I goofed up. I don't need the whole round. I need half the round. So it's easy to fix. Come back here. Right click, edit your feature. And it's not in feature, it'd be in sketch. edit your sketch. F7, and then we'll come back in and we'll go in here and we'll trim all of this stuff out. Finish the sketch. Boom. That looks better. Alright, we're getting there slowly but surely. Alright, now we got to get that the vents put in it. That probably, or we got to shell it. Let's go ahead and shell this thing out. And what that means is you're gonna, this is a plastic casing and it'll have a shell all the way around. So you hit shell, remove faces. This face and this face would be gone. The thickness of this thing is 0.125, and then OK, and it shelled it out for you. So that would be the shell of the plastic, and the inside will be all the components that's going to make this higher dryer work. So now we're going to put the vents in across and get this thing knocked on out. Okay, we are going to now put these vents in here, and to do that we're just going to start sketch, put a new sketch on the face of this, and you can see where I'm at. I'm right on the main face of that shell. What I want to do is just come up here and do a rectangle, and I'll just, over here out of the way of everything, I'll go ahead and start. This thing's 0.5, tab over, it's going to be 0.125. Nope, I had them backwards. 0.5, tab over, 0.125. Okay. Now I want to come off here up to there, and your book has your dimensions. This is 1.170, and then dimension off of that plane all the way to there is 1.45. Alright, finish that sketch up, and your book says you're going to extrude and cut that. Extrude, cut, and we're only going to cut 0.13 on that according to your book, and you'll see this little notch. And what is, we're going to use that feature to cut all this, and we're going to use a rectangular feature. Okay, so in your patterns, in your 3D feature mode, hit rectangular, and this is your feature. You can come over here and click on it like that, or you can come over here and catch it right there. It's probably the easiest. Your direction tab, I'll click on this plane, and you see the little arrows pointing that way because I want these to cut out across this way. If it's not right, you can flip it back the other way like that. The other one, direction, I'm going to click on this plane, and you see the directions going the right way. So how many times do I want it to come over this way? Let me look in the book. It's 5 times across at 0.6 spacing. Looks like 10 times vertically here, and it's going to be spacing at 0.25. So you can kind of see it how it's going to lay out, and all I have to do is hit and make sure those are on spacing and not distance. Okay, spacing is what you want there, and just hit OK on that. Boom, cuts them out. Now I'd go back in, and we want to be able to put this one, seam this one onto the mirror image of this. When you put these together, you'll have 2 plastic pieces, and the inside would be all the electrical components. So how to do this is make yourself a new sketch right on the face of that. In your book, it shows in here rectangular. We zoom in, and you're going to be right in the middle of this, and if it doesn't give you a spot, that's fine. Just come in here, and I think it's 0.125 by 0.125, and then your dimension would be off the main center between the two, or we can get that point to that point, and that should be 0.0625. It's half of 0.125, and that is it. So we hit finish sketch, and now we're going to take, and we've got the profile. This is what we, or not the profile, we got the actual the shape here. And now we want to get the path. This is the profile, and we're looking for the path here. So what you'll have to do is click on this, right click, new sketch, and you're going to have to come in here and project geometry. I kind of like to turn it a little bit so I can see it. I want this line to be there. I want that line to be there. I want that line. I want that line. I want that line. That line. And this profile is going to follow the sketch around through here. So finish your sketch. And accidentally edit my sketch. This one got put in here. No, that's my plane. I believe that's my work plane. Let's see if I can delete that. Yeah, that must be my work plane. I was just checking that out before I started to try to sweep. The sweep takes your profile, your enclosed profile, and then your path would be that line right there. You see how it's following that path all the way out? So just hit OK on it. Make sure you cut and hit OK on that. It cuts it out. And now you have that side of it done. Now all you have to do is just mirror image this side to make another one to this side, and then you just have to do opposite of this. Instead of cutting it this way, you just cut the bottom piece out to where those can be connected together. But if you have any issues or problems with this, please let me know.